This is Nicholas Maddaloni, and for my commercial analysis voiceover, I'm going to be talking about the 2015 Fiat 500 Super Bowl commercial, in which they kind of came together with Viagra, but it wasn't really Viagra. They just called it the blue pill, so I guess they didn't have to pay more money for advertisement. But yeah, they came together with the blue pill to come up with a humorous commercial idea to try and sell their new four-door vehicle. As you know, Fiat is usually a Italian smart car that's only two doors, but they used the Viagra, or the blue pill we'll call it, to come up with the four-door idea, and that's how they try to persuade the audience into buying their car. So let's start. Now, right away before we start anything, just that little 5-second clip right there just shows you that they're in the mountains in Italy, and it kind of gives you a little bit of a background of where the car company is from. And that other 5-second clip right there, you hear the violin in the background, and the music is starting to set the mood for a romantic type of mood between this gentleman and his wife. And as they were speaking another language, she said amore, which means my love, and then she used her fingers to signal for him to come here to get intimate, and he needs to wait for his blue pill, so we'll go there. He just said subito, which means give me 1 second. As you see, goes to the blue pill. Now, he tried to pop his blue pill so he could get romantic with his wife, but he missed. Now the blue pill is about to travel through the city of Italy, and you can really tell that the music plays a big part, because the music goes from being romantic to being a higher pace and a higher tune. So we're gonna watch. Right there, that 3 seconds right there, the music completely stopped before it goes to a higher pace. It completely stopped to create a sense of anxiety, and you hear the man scream no, because he knows what he had just lost, his last blue pill, so now he's not going to be able to get romantic with his wife. So right there, that 10 seconds right there, they just showed basically the entire village in Italy where he's staying, and you get that idea because first we saw a priest, and Italy is very big on their religion. We also saw wine and champagne, and they're also big on their drinking, and we also saw fountains, and they're very big on their artwork and their fountains. So we'll keep watching. And what we saw right there is the Fiat turned into a four-door truck from a two-door after the blue pill entered the gas tank. And this is very humorous for those who understand what's going on. And that's why I would say that the target audience is not only for consumers of cars that have their license, or are thinking about getting their license, or thinking about buying cars, which would be like 17 years or older where we are, but also a little earlier than that, 16, 17, where hormones start kicking in, and you start thinking of these types of things. You start thinking of what's going on, which is basically the whole commercial is trying to sell sex, because sex sells. And yeah, I'm gonna keep watching now.
The all-new Fiat 500X crossover.
Right there, 4 seconds after that, the commercial is trying to sell that the new car is flashy and it appeals to everybody around it. The general mood that was created here was that the car went from being some like Italian Italian smart car that nobody really wanted to drive around, because you would be considered almost like a I wouldn't want to say like a female or a phony, but it's just not really a manly car. But now you have a Fiat 4-door, a little bigger, a little bulkier car. The soundtrack also plays a major role, as we saw. It goes from being romantic to no music, which creates a sense of anxiety, to the music speeding up rapidly, which makes you think, okay, what's gonna go on? And I think this was a very good technique for the commercial, because we didn't really know what was going on in the commercial until the end of it, and that could work in our favor, because let's just say that people weren't really big fans of Fiat commercials. They would have just turned the commercial off and went to something else while the Super Bowl was on. But since they didn't know it was a Fiat commercial until the end, they had to watch the whole thing, and they were reeled into the humor of the old Italian man and his wife with the blue pill, and they were reeled in, and then they followed the whole blue pill into the car, and then they understand what happened.
Bigger, more powerful, and ready for action.
Right there, we just saw a use of words with bigger, powerful, more, and ready for action, because the ready for action is obviously a ploy to the blue pill, but they're trying to also sell the point that the car is now bigger and faster and stronger, because now it is a 4-door instead of a 2-door. I also think that the actors played a big role in this commercial, because if they weren't Italian, then it wouldn't really be as good, because it's an Italian sports car. And also, it sets the mood that they're in Italy, which is where the company is from. So overall, I think that this is a very solid commercial, and that they draw you in with their use of humor, a little combination of humor, and I would say ethics, because it's just logistically where they are in the world and where the company is. So I would say that as well. And the commercial tries to get your attention by trying to sell sex and combining that with the humor. Ono leads to the selling point of the car at the end, which you see here. And the commercial is aimed at, I would say, 17 years or older, for those who are trying to buy cars, thinking about cars, leasing them, whatever it is. As soon as you get your license, that's what you want to do. You want to get your hands on a car, and they're trying to appeal to a younger generation of people with the idea of sex. So that is my commercial analysis voiceover.